Hi, my name is natekokernot, and I want to welcome you to my channel. I'm going to talk about this idea that many religions, certainly Christianity and Judaism, seem to have about being the chosen ones. I'm not a biblical scholar, but I did watch the show, The Chosen, and the producers of that show, depicting the life of Jesus, starting from when he first began to gather his disciples together. They worked very closely with biblical scholars so that they could be as accurate as possible in their depiction of the historical figure named Jesus. It's clearly shown in that show that most of the Jewish people who followed Jesus were certain that he had come to vanquish the Roman occupation of Jerusalem because he was seen as the King of the Jews. Even many of his disciples were certain that he was there to save them from Rome. Jesus saw his purpose differently. Most people know that he hung out with the tax collectors, Matthew in particular, and other people that society looked down on, and that he welcomed Jews and Gentiles both with open arms. In the supplement to A Course in Miracles called the Manual for Teachers, Jesus talks about who the teachers of God are. Quote, "They come from all over the world. They come from all religions and from no religion. They are the ones who have answered. The call is universal. It goes on all the time and everywhere. It calls for teachers to speak for it and redeem the world. Many hear it, but few will answer. But it is all a matter of time. Everyone will answer in the end, but the end can be a long, long way off. It is because of this that the plan of the teachers was established. Their function is to save time. Each one begins as a single light, but with the call at its center, it is a light that cannot be limited, and each one saves 1,000 years of time as the world judges it. To the call itself, time has no meaning." End quote. In the paragraph before that one, he begins the section called "Who are the Teachers of God?" with this, quote, "A teacher of God is anyone who chooses to be one. His qualifications consist solely in this: somehow, somewhere, he made a deliberate choice in which he did not see his interests as apart from someone else's." End quote. So A Course in Miracles' answer to the question, who are the chosen ones, is anyone who chooses to be. What a refreshing take, and what a beautiful invitation to move away from tribalism and love your enemies. I have always been convinced, even before I discovered the Course, that if Jesus, Muhammad, and the Buddha got together, it would probably be for tea instead of a beer. But more importantly, I think that they probably wouldn't disagree with one another about much of anything. The humans that came after them, with the help of their egos and their need for control, interpreted their teachings into religious dogma. They were the ones who invented the polarization around religious faith. They introduced a false notion of eternal hell to frighten people into complacency. The truth is that this world, where we seem to be capable of unimaginable cruelties, like genocide, rape, and murder, and torture, is the closest to hell that will ever come. The misunderstanding that we have around heaven is that it, or hell, are the afterlife. Heaven, not hell, is the before, during, and afterlife. We are there now, but our eyes are telling us the opposite story. I'm not as familiar with these other faith traditions, but I'm fairly certain that these teachers all taught us to exclude no one from our love, to judge no one, and to care for everyone because they are not just the same as me, they are me. I have not immersed myself at all in the teachings of the evangelical churches, which now preach a form of Christian nationalism. But it is very hard to imagine that they are focusing on the teachings of the man, Jesus, who became the figurehead of their religion. Jesus was teaching us not to judge anyone. Quote, "Judge not, that ye not be judged," which, if taken with the premise that we are all one, means that you are literally judging yourself when you're judging your brother. Jesus taught us to care for those among us who are suffering, which could translate into not taking away their SNAP benefits. When he said, quote, "Truly I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these, my brethren, you did it unto me." And he also said, "He that is without sin among you, let him first cast a stone at her." the adulteress who they were all about to stone to death. Jesus does not believe in sin. He only believes in mistakes. So what he really means here is that if any of us have never made a mistake before, let them be the one to cast the first stone, which he knew eliminated everyone there. I know from reading the Bible when I was 12 or 13 that other parts of the Bible make it really hard to decipher whether God felt love for us or whether God felt wrath for us. And I can imagine that the Christian nationalists must have been paying more attention to those parts of the Bible than Jesus' teachings. But I would remind them, if I ever met one face to face, that Jesus himself was the figure who they based their religion on, and that anything out of alignment with his teachings can't be mistaken with Christianity. Rather, it's a convenient misinterpretation of Christianity. We want to believe that we're the chosen ones. I get it. That gives us comfort that we'll be in heaven after all this is over. But the truth is, it is us that have to choose heaven, and we choose it for right now, not for after we die, because we don't die. Life goes on afterwards. Not with our bodies, but the one life that we all share. All right, that's enough for today, I think. Thank you all for watching, and please hit the like and subscribe button to give the algorithm a boost. And please leave a comment below, especially if you disagree with me, because I really don't see a way to bring peace and heaven to this world if we're not willing to engage with those that see things differently than we do. Have a wonderful day, full of miracles and blessings, and I will see you again next time.